So the question is, what do you do when you don't have any more clothing on Shavua Shechal Bo? Sfaradim Shavua Shechal Bo, and Ashkenazim from Rosh Chodesh. You don't have anything left. You prepared and used up everything. Or you forgot to prepare and everything got dirty, got sweaty. What do? It says in a halacha, some leniencies. There are two issues here that we need to speak about. One issue is washing the clothing, which is much more of a problem. And secondly, wearing something that was washed beforehand, freshly laundered. Or, third issue is, can you go and buy new things? Well, each one is more strict than the other. Buying new things, you're also buying, you're making the act of buying. And secondly, you're wearing something that is fresh, that is new. The second level is washing something. Washing something is also, you're making an act of washing something that is not new, but you're washing. Washing, Chachamim forbid on this time because it takes away the head from the avelut. A person needs to be involved thinking about the avelut right now. And thirdly, the level of actually wearing something that is freshly laundered, that is asur on this time in order to feel the tzar of the Chorban Bet HaMikdash. So let's start with the undergarment. Undergarment, there's many poskim that permit wearing freshly laundered undergarments. Although la halacha we said that one should try to be machmir and prepare everything, but if one didn't prepare, or he prepared and used up already in this heat, you sweat a lot, and therefore you have no more undergarments that you could wear because it's not anymore, it's sweaty, it's very, very uncomfortable. When a person feels very uncomfortable, he's allowed to change those undergarments. This is how many poskim hold la halacha. Chacham Ovadia allows changing completely undergarments to have, it's called bigdei zeah, since they take all the sweat of a person. So those things will be permitted, and he brings a list of poskim, and there are many poskim that hold like this, especially in this generation of people used to changing them regularly on daily basis. That includes also the socks, that since they also become sweaty, a person would be allowed, if he wants to be lenient and he doesn't have any more those that he prepared, to change them. Moreover, if a person has only clothing that got dirty, so it depends. If it's somebody that, like a mother in the house that constantly takes care of the children, so just like the children, the little children clothing, when you run out because they constantly get it dirty in a young age, you're allowed to wash for them, la halacha. Also could be included in that the mother that constantly gets her clothing dirty because of the children that's around her. This is how the Nitei Gavriel brings down. He says, נשים שמבשלות תדיר, וכן המאכילות את התינוקות באופן שבגדיהם מלוכלכות תדיר, constantly it gets dirty, יש להתיר לחפשם, you're allowed to wash them. It's even more so up to Shavua Shechal Bo. But even on Shavua Shechal Bo, that would be a heter. Another heter that brought down in some of the poskim, if your clothing already make you feel very uncomfortable, as we spoke before, especially the undergarment, such a thing would be permitted, especially if you need to change it for health reasons. It starts getting you rashes around the body. Of course, for such things, it would be definitely permitted. What happens if your clothing became extremely dirty? Well, over here, we also found a leniency in many of the poskim. Although normally, if you only have one piece of cloth, you're not allowed from Shavua Shechal Bo to wash it. Up to Shavua Shechal Bo, Shulchan Aruch says in Seif Gimel that it would be permitted to wash if you only have one. So you're only allowed to wash that one and use it for the rest of the time. But on Shavua Shechal Bo, it would be asur. Says the Or LeTzion the following things. He says, if you already have something that got extremely dirty or very sweaty, משטבעו להיות לו זיעה הרבה, גם מתלכלך הרבה מחמת העסק, אין לו להחליף הבגדים ללבוש מכובס אפילו אחר כמה ימים. You shouldn't change such a thing if it's still bearable for you. If there would be a leniency, אדם עובד במקום ציבורי, if you work with people That they don't have to suffer smelling something that doesn't smell good. He says if you could put cologne on your clothing and this way you would take away the bad smell, fine. But if not, מי שיוצא ממנו ריח הרבה עד שנעשה מזוהם או שהבגד יתלכלך הרבה, also if the clothing became so dirty, so you're walking around people, it's disrespectful. You're representing Hashem, you're representing the Torah, you can't walk with dirty clothing, it's asur. For that, it would be permitted to wash that piece of cloth in order to be able to afterwards wear it. So you have those kind of leniency. Another leniency you find in a halacha is if you take something, right now you didn't prepare anything, but you have a lot of clothing that are washed in your drawer. You can take that, it's brought down, and put it on the floor. Now you can't put it on just your house floor, but rather you have to put it outside by the sand. This is how it's brought down in Sefer Lechem HaPanim, which was the Chatan of the Magen Avram. He says that in Ilchot Avelut Siman Shinayin Vav, אחר זין ימים לובשים כסות לבן שמניחים אותו מקודם לכן שעה אחת על קרקע עולם. You put it for a while in the sand, and the dagesh over here, the emphasis is on in the sand, not on in your house, which everything is clean and it doesn't have any effect on it. But in the sand, it makes it a little bit something that's just like you wore for half an hour. With that, you can have that leniency of wearing it. Some poskim didn't go with that and didn't like this, but since many poskim go along with it's few poskim kadmonim that bring this, and under the circumstance that you don't have anything else, that would be the way to get around of wearing something on this time.